How's it going, guys? Tom here, and I'm bringing you episode number 2 of my Pokemon Showdown series, Showdown Slam. Today we are continuing on from yesterday's episode where I introduced you to my Dialga and Kyogre core. If you missed episode 1, I do recommend you go and watch it. It introduces the series and shows you a bit of the team. We do get off to a good start as well, so we get 3 wins from 3, so spoiler alert, but yeah, we get off to a good start, so it's definitely worth watching. Features world's winning team as well, so definitely give it a go. We're not going to get straight into some battles here as we find a Ryoga team again. So Ryoga being a very strong core at Worlds this year, and this is kind of why I made this team, to try and counter that kind of team. In support we have Kangaskhan, Togekiss, Thundurus and Bronzong. So potential for Trick Room here, as well as maybe Tailwind, and obviously Thundurus shenanigans. So I'm just trying to think how I want to lead here. I can see Kangaskhan leading with the Thundurus and the Bronzong potentially by its side. I do feel like Dialga could be useful here, but I almost want to preserve that and keep that in the pack. And Amoonguss as well could be handy, although it would get shut down quite easily by the Thundurus. So I think we'll have Kangaskhan as our lead here. It's generally quite solid. Nothing can intimidate it, which is handy. And what we will do is we will have... We'll lead with Dialga as well and see how that goes. And have have Kyogre in the back with... I feel Arcanine could be useful here, but really it's only doing something against the Kangaskhan. It's not really getting anything else. Maybe the Meowstic could be a good lead for Safeguard. So in fact I'm tempted to lead Kangaskhan and Meowstic, get that Safeguard guaranteed, stop any Thunder Waves and Hypnosis and all of that. And then we'll have Dialga and Kyogre in the back. So Rayquaza and Kyogre here is the lead, which is fine. Don't mind that too much. As it is Primal Kyogre, not Scuffed or anything like that, so that's fine. We will go for the Mega here, and we will, because I'm quite confident we can take out the Rayquaza quite easily by breaking its sash, I'm going to fake out the Kyogre with Kangaskhan, get that extra bit of chip onto it, and fake out the Rayquaza with Meowstic. Could get a double protect here, which is fine, as we do, so yeah, that's fine, not really an issue. Could have gone for the power up punch play, and Safeguard, but we don't really need to worry about Safeguard too much here. So what I'm going to do is double edge straight into this Kyogre. It might be a bit of a high risk play. In fact, actually I am going to protect, and I'm going to Thunder Wave the Rayquaza here. Make sure it can't do anything else, it can't outspeed or anything like that. And we get the full paralysis, which is handy. Meowstic takes the Origin Pulse reasonably okay. And what I want to do here now is double edge the Kyogre and get that out of the way. I feel like Rayquaza might go for an extreme speed here onto the Meowstic, and I'm going to Helping Hand so I can get the KO onto Kyogre. This might be a bit risky, it might protect, but Rayquaza protects, which is fine. So we get a free KO there, so great start. Kangaskhan obviously taking a lot of recall there from double edge, as we do have Kangaskhan come in for my opponent. So what I am going to do is I could now double edge the Rayquaza, and I'm going to, again the Kangaskhan can fake out Meowstic here, so I have a feeling it might be Togekiss in the back, I'm not entirely sure, maybe Thundurus. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll switch into Dialga, expecting a fake out onto the Meowstic. I feel like that's a pretty safe play. Rayquaza could just go for the fake out onto the Kangaskhan, but it doesn't, so that's great. And we get a double edge off, and it's enough to KO the Rayquaza. So Kangaskhan doing a lot of work here, always nice to see. And we have the Togekiss in last, so not too great against Dialga, but I'm not too concerned at this stage. I feel like what we can do is go for a double edge onto the Kangaskhan, and we can go for a flash cannon onto the Togekiss, and this should guarantee us the KO, as it does go for the follow me, which I did expect to some extent. So we've definitely taken out this Togekiss as well, unless it's really specially bulky, as the Kangaskhan does get the KO on my own Kangaskhan, so that's okay, I'm not too fussed. The flash cannon gets the KO on Togekiss, which is really nice. So what we can do here is pin down this Kangaskhan with Meowstic, fake it out, and we can go for the. Actually, we'll go for the Aura Sphere onto the Kangaskhan. Unless it has Protect, which they usually don't carry, then yeah, we get this game. So that doesn't actually do too much, but again, you know, not too concerned. So we go for the Helping Hand Aura Sphere. Make sure we take out that Kangaskhan before it takes us out. So yeah, Power Up Punch doing a decent amount of damage, but it's not really that much of a problem when we can KO it just like that. So GG to my opponent there. And another win, so that's 4 from 4 so far. You know, excellent. Great start for us. And we'll go straight into battle number 2 of 3 today. So let's see what we have here. So it is a Xerneas Groudon team with Smeagolthings, Gengar, Hitmontop and Kangaskhan. So really my counter to Hitmontop is Meowstic. I'm not sure how solid of a counter this is, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. The Gengar could be Mega, potentially. I almost feel like I want to lead with Dialga here and make sure I can switch in Kyogre onto any Groudons and then go for the HP Water. They're always a really nice play. Potentially I want to have Kangaskhan in here anyway, just for added fake out and damage pressure. If we do get a Smeagol Xerneas lead, what am I conscious of here? I think we need Arcanine here, that could come in useful, with the Intimidates onto the physical attackers that we have there. So we'll have Dialga in the lead with Meowstic. I do really want to bring Kangaskhan because it does things, but without Sucker Punch I feel like maybe it's not as essential here. So I will have Kyogre and Arcanine in the back, as we do get a Smeagol and Groudon lead, so that's fine by me. What I'm going to do is Safeguard, and I can Aura Sphere. Actually, I think I want to. Do I want to get the Intimidate off straight away, because I'm feeling it might go for a ground type attack onto the Dialga. What do I want to do here? Because I could just switch in Kyogre, get the Hidden Power Water off, but that Smeagol is probably going to outspeed my Dialga. It's not max speed, as you can see there. So I feel like if I get the Safeguard off, I'm probably safe enough. And really I should be thinking about preserving Dialga here. What else can I do to potentially stop those plays? Smeagol is quite safe to go for Dark Void here. So I think we'll go for Safeguard, and we'll switch out Arcanine for the Intimidate and see how that goes. I'm not expecting it to survive any ground type attacks, as Smeagol does go for the Dark Void. And it actually misses the Arcanine, so that's not too bad. What we can do now is Thunder Wave the Smeagol, and that will really shut it down. And what we can do is... I'm not in the best of positions here, because if I do lose my Arcanine, I'm not really putting any offensive pressure onto this at all, really. I'm going to switch in Kyogre here. Haven't really seen Kyogre do that much so far in this. In fact, actually, rather than do that, I'll switch in Kyogre for the Meowstic. Arcanine I maybe could put HP Water on as well, and that could be handy. But I will just Extreme Speed the Smeagol, as he does send out the Kangaskhan, so that's okay. And do we get another Precipice Blades here? Yeah, so Precipice Blades comes out. And what I can do here is send out the Dialga. I reckon Kangaskhan's going to be more than happy to fake out this Kyogre, in which case I will protect it, and I will go for the Hidden Power Water onto the Groudon. I don't feel like I'm in the best of positions with this match. I feel like maybe bringing Arcanine wasn't the best idea. The Intimidate on the Groudon is nice, but maybe the way I led as well, bearing in mind he did lead with the Groudon. Something to think about there. Let's see what my opponent chooses to do. I have gone for the Hidden Power Water onto the Groudon, with where I am expecting it to go for a Precipice Blades and Kangaskhan to go for the Fake Out onto Kyogre, because Groudon should think it's relatively safe going for, you know, another attack. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll just deal with it, I guess. A play that my opponent could make is predict the Protect on Kyogre and fake out the Dialga. They're obviously taking a long time to think about it as well. They're thinking through this move quite considerably. So yeah, what else could I have done in these two turns? I feel like Meowstic was good here. Actually, one thing to note is that potentially either the Groudon is not max speed, or the Smeargle is scarfed. The Smeargle did switch out straight away, which I guess is understandable, as yeah, the Groudon is switched out here, so HP Water memes won't be happening, but that's fine. We don't reveal that because of the Fake Out onto Dialga, which is nice. But again, we're still not in the best of positions here because Groudon can switch in, and I think because of that, what I would like to do is switch out the Meowstic, switch in the Kyogre for the Meowstic actually, and I think this should be a straightforward Aura Sphere into the Kangaskhan. I'm expecting Meowstic to go down as a result of this play, as it does to a Kangaskhan return. So we do lose the Weather Wall. We can't get the HP Water off, as the Close Combat does do a lot of damage there as well. So Kyogre comes back in. I'm expecting Xerneas to come in now, and it's a question of who do I want to target really, because the Groudon can switch in at any time. So HP Water on this Arcanine would have been very nice, and it's probably something I'll change up as a result of this match. So Smeargle comes in, so actually yeah, I forget they don't have sorry, they don't have Xerneas here. So I'm going to go for an Origin Pulse, and what else can we go for here? I'm going to take the punt that this maybe scarfs Smeargle, in which case if we hit the Origin Pulse it's definitely going down. And what we can do is Dragon Pulse the Hitmontop here, and that should take it down with the defense drops. So Smeargle actually transforms into the Dialga, so it is Scarf Smeargle. So we don't get any damage off on it there, which is a bit frustrating. And now it's us against the Groudon and a Dialga, which isn't ideal, especially a Scarf Dialga at that. So I can see, yeah, they know Dialga is going to go down this turn. We have pretty much lost this, which is a shame, but we will go for the Dragon Pulse onto the Groudon. And after this match I'm going to change, what am I going to do? I'm going to change Arcanine to have Hidden Power Water as well as Dialga, because I think that's quite essential here, because I feel like if Arcanine did have it we could have won the match. It is worth bearing in mind it didn't survive a Precipice Blades after an Intimidate as well, which is something I perhaps should expect it to do, or maybe I should just not use Arcanine really. So we are going to forfeit this. I don't feel like we're in a winnable position there, something I will look back on later after I've recorded here. We are going to change Arcanine here, get rid of Snarl. Don't think it's really that necessary for Hidden Power. Water, just make that change here. This team is very Groudon weak the more I think about it, but I feel like these are, you know, we'll build this team up as we go along and make more serious thoughts with how I should change this team after each match. So that's just a quick change I can do now, but I'll look at some damage calcs to see if I can make Arcanine survive a Precipice Blades. So now we have a standard Big Six, so I'm expecting a potential Smeargle lead here. And what I'll do is I'll lead my own Kangaskhan as well, we can get any fake outs off. So Kyogre looks good here as well. And I feel like I want to use Dialga. Do I want to use Dialga here? It does quite well. I feel like if we can get a few vital Thunder Waves off, that could be very handy for us. So we have Smeargle and we have Xerneas, so yeah, pretty standard really. So what we'll do is we'll go for the Safeguard. In fact, we can go for the double fake out here. We'll fake out the Smeargle, and we could power up punch our own Meowstic, which I think could be a very nice play. Because let's think about this. If Xerneas doesn't protect and it sets up the Geomancy, we can Thunder Wave it next turn and protect Kangaskhan. That does make us vulnerable to Dark Void still later on in the game. So we can either choose to Safeguard or Thunder Wave it. So it could be a bit too risky, and we don't really lose anything if we don't get the fake out off. So let's go for a fake out onto the Smeargle. We can always Helping Hand with Meowstic anyway. So we'll go for the double fake out. And we could easily get a double protect here, but I just want to play it safe and not risk Xerneas setting up a Geomancy for now. So we do get a Mega Evolve, and neither of them protect actually. And we get a critical hit on the fake out, which is very handy. And the Smeargle is faster than the Xerneas, so we are potentially looking at Scarf here, although it does get a speed drop. But that doesn't matter because we have Pranks to safeguard, and we can power up punch the Smeargle and get the KO, although that's risky with the evasion. So we'll go for the double edge onto the Xerneas. So Smeargle actually follow me's, which we miss. Standard. And we will. So now it gets okay. So we're currently being Smeargled at the moment, which isn't ideal. It's free to keep doing the follow me. So we will fake out. We will Helping Hand and power up punch. No, we will Helping Hand, Kangaskhan and double edge into the Xerneas. And if Smeargle decides to follow me, hopefully we hit. If we don't, then there isn't really much we can do about it. But we'll see what happens, as it doesn't Helping Hand, so we do get this KO onto the Xerneas with another crit. And the Smeargle's free to do Smeargle things even in Safeguard, so that's quite strange really. So we get Salamence here. We are probably going to see another follow me from the Smeargle, but we will Dragon Pulse the Salamence. Actually, what goes first? So actually our primals and our restricted are the same speed, so let's just bear that in mind. But what we will do actually is Aura Sphere, Smeargle, and Ice Beam the Smeargle. Actually, we won't Aura Sphere, we'll Dragon Pulse and Ice Beam the Smeargle. Hopefully we hit it. So we get a Hyper Voice here. So Dragon Pulse misses and Ice Beam misses. So this guy's pretty committed to just Dark Voiding now. So I think we can double into the Salamence here and make sure we take it out. So let's see how that goes, because for some reason he's not using Follow Me. unless it is Scarf Smeagol, and that's why. No, it didn't switch out, so let's get this Salamence out of the way and try and take it out. Either of these attacks should KO the Salamence I'm expecting. So we'll see what my opponent wants to do. I'm hoping they go for another Dark Void, because that will help me out very much. If it goes for a Follow Me, then we just take the chances. So it is going for another Dark Void. Clearly doesn't know about Safeguard, I'm assuming. So the Ice Beam knocks out the Salamence, and we still miss the Dragon Pulse, so not great, but and Groudon comes in. And we have Safeguard up for one more turn. We will Dragon Pulse, and we will Ice Beam here. And the Smeagol goes for the Follow Me, which is fair enough. So Eruption does do big damage here, and we hit the Ice Beam, but we miss the Dragon Pulse. So Kyogre here is a very bulky Kyogre, and this is probably another one we've lost because of Smeagol evasion boost. So after a very good episode yesterday, unfortunately we come away with 1 win and 2 losses today, moving down the ladder. I feel like what I want to do is go for one last game. I can't really let myself get Smeagoled like that, as we have a 5-mon team with what looks like Arashi Marty's UK Nationals winning team with the Jumpluff and the Groudon Yveltal core. And what would we like to do here? Raichu I'm not too concerned about here. I'm not thinking I want to launch any water type attacks off here. I feel like, again, I feel like having Dialga in the front is really nice. We need a way to shut down that Jumpluff as well. So I feel like a Thunder Wave into that, or a Safeguard at least, will slow that down, no matter if it's in the sun or not. And we can have Kangaskhan out for Fake Out. Kyogre and Dialga, I think, in the back here as well. So Raichu comes out, as does Yveltal. So we've got double Fake Out here. And I think what we can do is go for the Fake Out onto the Yveltal, and I think in fact a Safeguard and a Fake Out onto the Yveltal, in case the Raichu wants to nuzzle. So Yveltal protects, that's fair enough. We get the Safeguard, and we don't get the paralysis, so that's all gravy. And here what we can do is Helping Hand, and so Raichu can Encore here actually, which I should be thinking about. How do I want to play this? I'm assuming Safeguard doesn't work with Encores. So what we'll do here is yeah, what we'll do is we will do a double switch, expecting a Encore, maybe a foul play or something. This isn't an ideal move for us, but I'm just worried about that potential for Encore, as it goes for a feint actually, and a knockoff. So that's not too bad. I'm fairly, reasonably happy with that. And what we'll do here is we will protect, and I feel like if we can get rid of this Raichu, we can have a much easier time. So I'm going to protect the Kyogre and Dragon Pulse the Raichu. Yveltal could protect here as well, as it doesn't. Oh, the feint, of course. I just saw that. So not the most ideal play from me there, as Dragon Pulse doesn't pick up the KO. And we are going to get outsped by both of those. So that was a really, really poor move from me there. And we will again Dragon Pulse the Raichu as the Groudon comes in, so that's fine by me. And the knockoff does a lot of damage there. So the Groudon could protect here, as could the Yveltal. They could both protect. What I'm going to do is Power Up Punch in the Dialga slot and send out Meowstic. I have to make a play now, I think, to win this game, as Yveltal protects and Groudon protects, so that's great. Get a Power Up Punch into the Meowstic. And now we will protect with Kangaskhan, and we will Thunder Wave the Yveltal. And that way we can at least slow it down so it's slower than our restricted mons. And Meowstic stays alive in front of the Groudon. So the Groudon is the worry here now. So we will actually it might go for a protect, it might not. Do I want to go greedy and get the Power Up Punch? That will preserve the Kangaskhan better. And I feel like a helping hand. Mind you, if the Yveltal goes for a foul play, then that's something we have to consider as well. So let's go for a Power Up Punch, helping hand play. We might see it protect here, but I almost want to be a little bit greedy. So it does get the Intimidate off. Helping hand, does it protect? No, no protect. But we don't get the knockout, importantly, so Yveltal might just go for the foul play. Well, it goes for the Tailwind. So let's go for a protect and another. We could go for another Thunder Wave here. I almost feel like we want to get the Power Up Punch onto the Yveltal, and let's Thunder Wave the Salamence. I could see Salamence potentially protecting here, but it doesn't, and it's paralysed, so we are getting quite lucky with the full paras at the moment. And without this Raichu coming in, you know, this Meowstic is just going to work really. So let's, so we don't want to protect here because the Raichu can get the Encore off, although it didn't try that last time. So we could, what do we want to do here? I think if we protect here and just go for the Safeguard once more. If it fakes out the Meowstic, fine, but it faints. I'm not too concerned about that. And Salamence gets the Draco off. So this Raichu probably can take me out, but I will go for the Double Edge onto the Mence. And I will go for the in fact, I will go for the Power Up Punch onto the Raichu, and there we will go for, we will just keep the Meowstic in here, because I feel like actually Dialga and Kyogre can't really compete with Groudon. So we will switch in Dialga onto the Hyper Voice. So Raichu does have Volt Tackle actually, which is less than ideal, and the Hyper Voice. So in we will bring Kyogre. And actually, do we want to switch this out so we win the Weather Wall? I think we do. Actually no, we want the Meowstic back for the fake out pressure. So I mean, Groudon can obviously protect with that. I feel like maybe I was in a winning position and I've now lost it, which is frustrating. We'll go for a protect here on the Kyogre, although Raichu could faint before it gets its last bit of damage off, so let's bear that in mind. we'll go for the attack, and we will Dragon Pulse the Raichu. Yeah, as it does go for the feint, so that's perfect. We take out the Raichu, take out the Salamence, and now it's just us versus Groudon. I say just us versus Groudon. You know, our team is slower, and maybe speed control is another issue here. So we will. What can we do? I feel like we might need to win the weather war here, but at the same time, I feel like if I protect Kyogre, go for a Dragon Pulse onto the Kyogre, maybe we can get a miss, but we don't. So Meowstic can come in. Groudon can obviously protect here, but we will go and try for the Ice Beam anyway. And we will go for, what do we want to go for? The Fake Out onto Groudon. And it doesn't protect, amazingly. So we won't get the KO. Yeah, just miss out on the KO here, which is a shame. All we can do now is hope that we miss the Precipice Blades. Yeah, we can't really do anything here. Yeah, so yeah, good game to my opponent. So we actually go for 4 battles here and we lose 3 of them. So it's not the best record today, unfortunately, I'm afraid, but sometimes that's the way it goes. I will be looking back at these matches and seeing what else I could have done better, and seeing if there's anything I can do to change the team up and make it more usable. There is someone hoovering in the other room, so if you're picking up any background noise, I apologise for that. I wasn't actually paying attention to where they started, I was just focused on this. But yeah, as always, as with yesterday's video as well, any feedback on the team, the way I'm playing, and also these videos as well, will be greatly appreciated. It is something I've just started doing. I'm looking to try and get as much practice in as I can for next season, which should be starting around September, October time. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. We may have a slightly different team, we'll see how things go, but either way, it should be a good episode, so I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks a lot, goodbye.